I know. Slightly late, people. Slightly late. But I'm here now. I'm here not only in spirit, but with bells and whistles on.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Where am I? Where actually am I? Where am I? No, that's like that. I'm here. I'm here. Is this mic on? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Alien Addict on this delightful and luxuriant. No, I can't use it. Just spiffing. This spiffing evening, and I don't even. That's a UK word. Most of my viewers are from the States. It is spiffing though. Spiffing, great. How is everybody? I hope you're all well. And I want to say a massive thank you to just before the show even started, Lee Guy, just giving the bacon. The store hadn't even opened. The show hadn't even started. And Rich is in the bottom here. He's right below me. I'm fingering him right now. He's there. There you go. Rich, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, what are you guys doing over here? Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Welcome you.
No, we're not welcome you.
Oh, okay.
You can welcome me if you want.
Well,
I feel even, it's even more of a better evening now.
Isn't it?
Feeling welcome to my own show.
Yeah, good for you, man. You should be welcomed.
Do you know the fact that Lee changed his name to welcome to the show?
Yeah.
It just makes it all that better for me. We have got Area 503 joining us. We've got Scott Browne joining us, but I don't know. They're both at work at the moment, so they're probably driving home. Hopefully, at a normal pace. But how you been, mate? It's been a bit. It was a great show the other night.
Which one? Last night?
Well, all your shows are good, mate.
I wouldn't say they're all bad. Yeah, they're great. It's been fun this week, man.
But I really enjoyed our last show.
Last night?
It wasn't last night. It was
2
the night
nights
before.
ago was much better. Yeah.
Where we spoke about. No, we didn't do this. We only did we didn't do a show last night, Rich, did we?
No, 2 nights ago.
This show.
Oh, you're talking about your show. I thought you meant my show. See, I always think it's always about me. So
no, it's about me,
so
mate.
you
I'm
mean
God.
Well, I'm Jesus then. What?
How's that work? I've got the beard.
So you're talking about your show 2 days ago. That was freaking awesome.
I had a lot of fun.
The Demon Show.
It's a good thing to put out there.
Dave was good.
Yeah, I like David. He's a very mysterious
he's cool,
man.
I like that guy a lot. I don't like many people. He's cool.
He is. See, a lot of people, he's been on the show before. And a few people I've noticed they thought, come on, who's this guy? He's full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I know him. I speak to him on a regular basis. There's reasons why he doesn't want to reveal himself. And I think you kind of got a little bit of an inkling, to which we won't speak about towards the end of the show, of what may be happening with David. But maybe one day I think he just wants to keep that to himself and just do his own thing. That's fair enough. I don't want to speak in riddles for the audience, though, because it just looks like we're trying to... what's the word I'm looking for, Rich? We're trying to...
leave it in anonymity. Leave him... Just let him do it on his own terms.
But we spoke about, the possibility that maybe these things are... Demons, yeah.
Demons.
So
I don't think they are.
I wanted to talk about the conspiracies tonight, the different ones and the conspiracies within conspiracies within another conspiracy,
I do.
Because it always seems, there seems to be, just let me shut this door before my cat decides to...
Yeah. So what Ollie is doing, he's closing a door for a kitty cat or something. He's got a lot of dangerous cats out there.
They are dangerous, Rich.
They're
Very
virile.
dangerous. No, I'll tell you the real reason why I wanted to close the door. Because if I wake one of the children up and I get in bed tonight, I'm gonna get a little, a little backhand. I'll get that.
Sure.
So
Nice.
she's old fashioned. What can I say?
That's great. Well, I'm proud of you.
Well, you be proud of my husband beating wife. It's nothing to be proud of, mate.
You're cuckold.
I hope she's not watching. So,
oh, right, that's true.
With everything that's gone on over the last, I'm going to say just the last few years of ufology, where it kind of it seemed to have ramped up from the Tom DeLonge stuff.
Can I stop right here for a second?
Yes.
I have to tell you something. Why are you saying ufology? You know what that means, right? You're gonna get mad at me now? You look like you're mad. Don't get mad. I'm saving you.
You put me on the spot.
I'm saving you.
I'm getting mad.
I'm saving you because when people say ufology, that's
It's
unidentified.
not even a real word.
No, it's not. It's ufology. Because you're saying.
No, but I'm from the UK.
No, I don't care. I'm from America.
It's ufology.
No, it ain't. You're not that.
You're
saying it's unidentified. The study of unidentified flying. The study of is how you're saying it. It's unidentified flying objects. Ufology.
Well,
see, if you say ufology,
I understand the ology.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Everybody knows that now. You're gonna get mad.
I am mad. I mean, I'm furious.
I can tell. Look at you. You're turning red. Your hair's on fire.
Come on, how can this skin turn red?
That's true.
Have
you ever done roofing?
I'd die if I did.
I know. I'm asking because a comedian, Bill Burr, you remind me of him, the way you guys look almost. He's fair-skinned, and he always talks about roofing in July.
You're not going to... You're calling me you guys? Like I'm some sort of...
like you're some species.
Maybe I am,
Well, you are gingers.
Well, there's a conspiracy, within aliens that certain people like these Nordic blondes, you see them, you see the tall...
Yeah, I've dated one.
Sometimes I look at people and think that person's an alien. My wife did. Here's it. So if we're gonna get on the
who is it? Scott Brown.
It's Mr. Catfish.
Hey, that's cool.
Stop fighting. Am I dyslexic here? Dolphins? Is that what he says?
Yeah, he's calling us dolphins.
Can you do a dolphin impression, Rich?
I can't anymore. I just can't. I've tried it. I don't know why I can't do it.
I can't even think of the noise they make.
I can't.
No, me and Rich are just coasting now till the other guests come.
No, let's get serious.
But thank you, Mr. Catfish. No, let's get serious. So I am going to say this. My wife, this is God's honest truth. We went on a holiday. We went to a wedding to Thailand. And in the UK airport, or was it the Thai airport? I can't remember. It's a long time ago. But she saw this man. I never saw this man, by the way. But she saw a man with her when she was with her mum in a duty free.
Yep.
And he was pretty tall. And she said he had the greyest skin and the strangest look ever. And she was staring at him. And apparently he turned and looked her way. And he just smiled at her. But it was a very, very strange, creepy smile. But she said she'd never seen any human that looked like this person. This is before I had Alien Addict.
Wow.
and she just said, I've just seen this. I think at the time I smoked, and I think I'd gone out for a beer and a cigarette.
Yeah.
And she just came and she said, I've seen this really freaky guy. I was already into aliens and that, but she said, I think I've seen an alien. He looked like an alien. He was this tall grey man and with grey skin. You know, maybe he was a bit ill.
Hey,
you know,
you hear people say it all the time, brother. They walk amongst us.
But he smiled at me, and she said he smiled like he knew that she knew.
She was watching.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Weird.
And she's never had that after that, or before or after, since.
No, never
Again.
Just once. Just once she saw that. She always gets a feeling when something's bad. Like if somebody in the family dies, she says she's got a bad feeling a day or so before, and she kind of knows something's going to happen.
That's very common, especially with women. Do you think there's more women, like psychic type of people, than there are men, or do you think it's like right down the middle?
It seems to fit.
55 and older women.
I would say so. If you're gonna look at it along the side of trust, I think a woman that does it for a living would come across as more trustworthy, because us, men, we just pirates. Don't trust a man.
You're saying if she does it for
I sound so sexist towards the opposite sex here. I'm very much on the female side when it comes to psychics. I would much prefer to go to a female psychic than a male one.
Hell yeah, me too, brother.
One, they may be really attractive.
Because that mother, I think it's that mother thing.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is.
They wear the garb like they're wearing their night cooking shirt or blouse or top or gown.
Also, Sopranos was one of my favorite TV shows ever.
Mine too.
Shit ending.
Well, yeah, they all got killed.
But no, they didn't.
Yes, they did. You know what happened at the end.
They all went for dinner.
Right, and the guy walked out of the bathroom wearing the members only jacket. That's how the very first scene started. That's the way it ended. And when it went blank, the reason it went blank, because you don't hear a bullet. You just go dark. When they shoot you and kill you, that's what happens.
I need to watch it again.
And that guy killed the whole family right there.
You're telling me I watched that entire series and didn't get the ending?
Dude, I had to watch other people talk about it to see what I was thinking if I was close. I wasn't even close. There's so many clues that lead up to that they were murdered. That the way he did that editing and that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was a brilliant TV show, but with no aliens, Rich, so we need to get off the subjects of Sopranos.
They talked about it one time, I think.
Did they?
And the one guy goes, yeah, it was your sister's ass. And I always say that. I say sister's ass. That's an East Coast thing. I just about fell out of the chair.
Do you, when it comes to the subject of aliens...
Italian aliens, okay.
Italian aliens, yeah.
I wonder if there are.
When it comes to not abductions, but mutilations, animal mutilations. Do you think, because that definitely happens?
I know.
But do you think it's us doing that to the cattle and the different animals, or do you think it's something? Maybe not. I mean, we spoke about demons, but maybe not extraterrestrial, but something a little bit more sinister. Or do you think it is us doing that?
I flip-flop on that because no one really knows. Hey, Frapsap.
Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. What's he say, Rich? Go on.
To be proper, the term should be UFOlogy, because ology means the study of. Logy, without the O, means nothing.
This is why it's a made-up word, Frapsap, and thank you.
That is wait. So he says that the logy without the O means nothing. Yeah. No, you spelled it wrong. It's UFOLOGY. He spelled it wrong.
Well,
That,
I wouldn't
it's
know.
not
Honestly,
He's saying
I'm
ufology.
dyslexic.
Ufology is another term.
right?
You're getting mad at me again. I tell you, because you get all like this and you start spinning around.
I don't get mad at anybody.
I know. Is there an echo? I just heard an echo. You didn't hear that?
Oh.
That's cool, Frapsap. Yeah, ufology. Yeah, you got to change the spelling. It's UFOLOGY. See, now your whole thing is moot for $10. Wow, $10.
I appreciate the $10.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you were saying, Rich, you used to think about the cows.
Yeah, I used to think
missing testicles.
I used to think it was strictly aliens,
Right.
and then I saw Linda Moulton Howdy Doody, and I said, nope, she's doing it. No,
you think Linda's chopping them up?
she's taking the bowls. No, she forget about her. Then I heard, when you get into this field, you hear different things from all different people all the time. Then I heard, somebody said, well, our military is working with the aliens because they just want to see how they operate. I don't know. And anytime we do something, the aliens go with us. You know what I mean? It's like we're sharing information with them. So who knows? Maybe the alien went along to go see bin Laden get taken out. That would have been something.
Maybe he did it.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, right?
Scott, I have sent you a link on your email. And I also sent you one on Twitter, unless I sent it to Scott C. Waring, and if that's the case,
That'd be weird if he showed up.
he wouldn't like it if he did.
I wouldn't?
No, he wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Not after the copyright strike.
Oh, right. I just remembered when you said it. Yep.
He nearly took my channel out in one day. Let's have a bear me a sec, Scott. I'm listening, Rich. I'm just sending Scott the invite again.
Look, people have seen all sorts of lights. There's a famous Canadian one where the lady it's Guardian. It's not cattle mutilation though, so forget. Oh no, there were cattle mutilations in the area that night. That's right. People see strange things. Now, hey, Scott.
What's up, guys?
Same old thing.
Scott, do me a favor. Whenever you, because it's just because of the headphones. If you put yourself on mute but welcome to the show. How are you been, my friend? You good?
Good. Yeah.
I'm
loving the hat. It's very Indiana Jones.
It's awesome. That is cool.
It's very Josh Gates.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. I almost bought one of those.
You need like one of those little Anaconda alien skeleton skulls. Just on a few of them on the hat. Maybe.
Do you know? Oh, sorry.
No,
sorry.
Do I know what? Why do you keep saying sorry?
Because I interrupt you. I don't know why I'm interrupting you. You know how old that little one that Stephen Greer had? Remember that one? He had the 6-inch alien.
Was it not meant to be like 6 years old?
Yes.
Like, as in age?
Yes, it lived to be 6 years old, and it was human, just a little deformed, right, Scott? You remember that? Of course you do.
Yeah, the Attica.
Atacana?
I forgot it. It starts with an A, but
Anaconda.
Yeah,
it's Anaconda.
Anaconda? Is it?
No, A-D.
Okay, I did have a picture of it, but
A-D-I-C-A-O-N-D-A, I think.
I think I've scrapped it.
My Anaconda don't like none in case.
So, Rich, what were you saying before?
Well, I was Atacama, A-T-A-C-A-M-A. Yeah, thanks,
exactly.
B. Baker. Well, I was just saying that also when they deliver the cows back home, when they're dead already, one side has cracked ribs as if it was dropped from at least 40 feet.
Oh.
But, there's no blood, cattle mutilations. But we as Americans, humans, we don't give a about animals. Well, I do. I'm talking about the military. They do whatever they got to do. So I don't know, man. I don't think the aliens would actually be that abusive to an animal, being as they're supposed to be a higher being.
It
Why
doesn't
would-
make sense, that does it?
Yeah,
It doesn't
no.
make sense that they would beam them up gently, rip the testicles off, and then just like spit them out.
Slice them and dice them perfectly.
I think it was you that said on a GUFON show, Rich, that one day we may get into space and find that we've got a planet that's got loads of dead cows orbiting it. We find all
Oh.
these cows in space.
Yes. Why not? Cows are very spiritual. Well, for the humans. Scott knows.
One of my good friends. He's religion. His religion. He's Sikh, and they worship the cow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they won't eat it. They worship the cow.
What are they called? Sikh?
Sikh. Yeah.
Okay. I never heard of that
Sikh,
religion.
Yeah. But yeah, they worship the cow, and maybe the aliens do as well. Maybe the aliens worship the cows.
But-
So if you read any of Christopher O'Brien's books, he actually wrote one that's considered like the Bible on cattle mutilation, called Stalker of the Herd. I'm messing that up, but anyways, Christopher O'Brien, he's like, he's one of the top researchers in that aspect.
Sure.
And he in the countries he found where they worship the cattle, there's no cattle mutilations. So he couldn't explain it, but it was
I bet
weird
you-
weird that it's all over the world. It's not just cattle, it's deer, possum, foxes,
You want to know why?
all kinds of animals.
You want to know why? Because they don't want to let the population know cattle that they worship are being mutilated, so they don't mention it to anybody. They keep it a secret, I think.
Could be a good possibility.
Because it doesn't make sense. The only place that really worships them doesn't have them.
Right.
Well, that's just me being logical. I'm sorry. Maybe it is something special.
When was the last case you heard of? I mean, it seems I could be wrong, but it seems like it's almost we don't see a lot of it now. Or
There
or-
was a- Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So
still-
I run a private group on Facebook, not just in the field, but I run an animal and cattle mutilation group that's just for that. The last case was just a couple months ago. I believe it was in Germany. We've got a researcher over there that's been documenting it. He sends me photos. He uploads his videos. It's still happening, just like it's always happened throughout the 60s and the 70s, all the way up. Last year, I believe, don't quote me, I think it was Idaho or Iowa. It took down, took down 3 bulls, prize bulls, within a short period of time. They were all found on their side. No struggle on the ground, all the same parts taken, ear, eye. It cores out the anus. So whatever they're using, they're going in and coring it out and then pulling the whole anus out. They take testicles. They've had ones where the ends of the animal's teats are missing off of its nipples. And they're all clean cut.
It seems like they're really sick bastards, doesn't it?
I mean, these 3 bulls that were taken down, you're talking, 2,500 pound animal, and they're taking down 3 all at once. No struggle showing on the ground anywhere. Taking these parts and boom, they're out of there.
You know what doesn't make sense? If it was us, why would we do it? Because they could just grow them in their own fields, wherever they want, secretly.
Exactly. I mean, one of the theories says that they do it around the world because they're testing the environment. So
Mm-hmm.
the parts that are taken, the mouth, the tongue, where the food comes out, the anus, would give off properties of what's in our environment. But the problem is, if it was our government, or say one country's government,
It makes sense it could be China, sorry, because I've been to
they're-
China and they do eat testicles. And I ate a testicle in
but
China.
they're flying around the world to do this. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. There's no possible way that could even be set up to where they're flying to all these countries and doing this. Some of the ones in Germany are being found in remote fields in the middle of nowhere. I mean, whatever is doing it, we just can't understand it. And they haven't been able to catch anyone or see anyone or anything.
So then, most likely, it's not humans and aliens. It's humans. I mean, it's aliens. Just
It
strictly
seems to be
aliens.
something
we
that's
don't
not.
understand.
It's just not something we understand. I mean, there was a couple cases where the farmer had the cattle taken from his property. He got together with some other farmers in the area that had that happen to them as well. They sat up all night around the pasture waiting to see what was going to happen. Stayed up throughout the night, not a sound. The next morning, mutilated cattle.
That's crazy.
So it did it in the dark with no light, and it did it silently. It took down this animal, cut these parts all without making a sound.
That's really nutty. And they were staring in that general direction, right?
Yeah, they were all posted like around the property. They all were armed, and they couldn't catch it.
That is...
I just don't get it. I've looked at it for years and years and years, and it is bizarre. It is bizarre.
Well, geez, now I have something that could be even maybe a little more conspiratorial. What if the farmers are in on it? And these parts are very... Ollie, did you hear me? Oh, let's wait for him. Because I was just saying... You're muted. No, you're not. I was saying, what if the farmers are in on it? And they get paid a certain amount of money to let a few cattle go. I know, worldwide, right? So the whole world's doing it.
But on top of that, there's been certain cases down through the years where the actual farmers have had lawsuits against the government, blaming them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they've all lost. All of them. Not one has won a case. So
you got to get it on film and prove it.
Yeah.
And nobody has.
Never. Not
Isn't that
once.
wild? But yeah, and people have cameras around their ranches, and they just take the cows, and they don't see it happen. I guess, right?
Yep.
I've never seen a video or a documentary where they would show the cow there, and then the next day the cow's laying in the ground and nobody saw it, but the camera was there the whole time. I wish we had something like that. Maybe the cow just disappears.
It's possible. I mean, anything's possible, I guess. I don't know how they're pulling it off, but whatever's doing it is beyond human comprehension. We just can't comprehend it.
Is it mainly cows?
Pardon?
Is it mainly cows that
That's a big one, but you can name so many other animals. The list is very lengthy. They've found deer in the middle of the woods with a 1/4-inch hole in its skull, and its entire brain is sucked out of the cavity in the skull through that tiny little hole. And, they've taken pictures of it, cut the skull open, showed that the brain is gone. They just can't figure it out. It's bizarre.
Sucked it out like a Slurpee. That's crazy.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the autopsy photos that were released of a man who supposedly suffered the same fate in Brazil.
Yep.
Yeah, and the same parts are missing from this guy. His mouth is all cut away, And it's so freaking bizarre, man.
It's
They
all
don't.
black as well, isn't it? Around
No.
Yeah, it's all
around the area.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
That
yeah.
could be because
discolored. Yeah, it's all discolored.
You don't see that at all. You don't. That's the only pictures I've ever seen of a human mutilation.
Me too. But I have read of 2 other cases where it happened to people.
I knew there were 3. I was thinking about saying that. You just confirmed it.
Yeah.
there was also the guy. I think we spoke about this 2 nights ago, Rich, and still forgotten the guy's name. It was a British guy. I think his first name might be Nick, and he died, and he sent his mother a message, and he had loads of black stuff coming out
Oh
of his
yeah.
mouth. Apparently, I mean, I know it's not a mutilation. That's not. But this is also somebody who's in the field that I believe was doing probably some really good work. You know, he wasn't doing. He was actually, you know, balls deep doing on the ground doing the stuff.
Yep.
And
Yes.
this guy, he sent a message to his mother saying, if anything happens to me, you know, get people to look into it, because he felt like something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's very odd. Very odd indeed. I think
There's supposedly a case. I can't remember exactly. I think it was early 2000s. I think the guy's name was Todd Sees or Todd Saws. He was on an ATV out in the Midwest, and he disappeared as he went up into the trails, and he didn't come back. And his family called out, a bunch of people to go look for him. And apparently the government came in. I guess they got on the land, like they had found out about it, and they wouldn't let them see the body. But supposedly the body was found up in the trees. I think he only had partial clothing on, and some of the same parts were missing. So it's a controversial case. I mean, I'm not sure how much there is to it, but
if that's what they do, though, and they beam something up, they take it up into the clouds, and then they just dump it, that really does show them as looking at us like ants, you know, looking at us just like nothing.
I've always had the attitude that they are indifferent to us. So I think that they would just be indifferent to all life on this planet. I don't think they're one way or the other. It doesn't matter to whatever it is. You know, I mean, that's the impression I get.
We'll put it this way: if we went and visited a species that was, you know, primitive to our own, and if we saw an intelligent life form on there, but say it was at the point where it couldn't really fight back because it was quite primitive, it was, you know, Stone Age maybe, but it shows signs of becoming potentially like us, we would get one of those and we would chop them up. We would. You muted, Rich.
Yeah, I agree.
You mute, Rich. You are silent but deadly. Attractive. There you go.
I know.
What did you say?
I said like a Bigfoot.
Yeah, if we found a Bigfoot, it would get chopped up. It would. I don't think. It's very unfortunate, but that's what our scientists do.
Okay. That's how we study things, you know. I mean, I guess it would be no different for another life form to look at something else and want to study it, and you know. But it seems like that the parts that they take are significant to their agenda, because it's always the same parts all the time that they take. You know, they don't take the thigh or, you know, a big side of beef. They don't take any of that. It's always the same parts and organs all the time.
What
It's
do we
just,
think the reason for that is?
I don't know. I mean, my only theory, I was talking to this one guy, and he, he seemed to think that because they were taking the mouth, the tongue, the sexual organs, that if something had like some kind of high scientific test where it could test these parts and it could see what this animal has taken into its body, what it's been exposed to in the environment, and it could see how our little terrarium is doing. you know, I don't know.
See, so I think we've established there when it comes to animal cattle mutilation and people disappearing and what have you. There's definitely something there to that. That conspiracy is not. It's not a conspiracy because it's quite factual. This stuff does happen. We just don't know what it is, but we're quite certain we don't think it's human. Possibly quite a few of them have been human.
Well, why? Why don't we think it's human? So far, everything sounds human to me.
Well, it does, but when you look at some of the because these go way back, and when they've examined some of these mutilations, the cuts on there, they're saying that they can't do that. It'd have to be laser cut.
Okay.
Even when
we've had lasers since the 50s. The government has.
Well, yeah, but why would the government do that? Mind you, why does the government do anything? But
Chris has documented cases going back to these 1800s. So that kind of rules that out. Like,
really?
Yeah. So the main problem is that,
wow.
So the horse got mutilated. Snippy, I think it was 1969, 70 something.
Yeah.
It was the famous horse that kind of opened it up into people's minds.
Okay.
So before that, they believed that it was happening, but a lot of people wouldn't. I mean, even today, some farmers have found them like that and just attribute it to some animal attacked it.
Yeah.
And they don't even report it. So no one knows about it. Mm-hmm. But if you take and you search for pictures of animals who have had predatory attacks on them, and you put them side by side with the pieces that are cleanly cut, doesn't even come close at all. Predators will go for all the soft tissue, the meat, the muscles. They have a close-up shot of a cow's eye where the hair that's around the eye has a perfect punch mark in it. So whatever came down and took the eye grabbed the perfect circle of that hair around the eye, and it's just, there's just no way that another animal did that.
No way.
Yeah, I have hundreds of pictures, hundreds and hundreds of them.
Okay, so we've established that it's probably aliens.
I mean, I won't say aliens, but it is something that's
we don't understand.
Probably smarter than us.
Well, wait a minute, because we used to say they were aliens, so why is it different now?
Well, it's not so much, us saying it. I mean, I don't like to use the word alien. I really don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think there's something out there, but I'm not willing to label it something. You know what I mean? It's
okay.
like you guys were talking demons earlier. So in the unknown, in like the 1817, 1600s, people would label some of the stuff that we know what it is today as a demon.
Yeah.
A witchcraft.
They'd say because they were so superstitious that, they didn't understand it. So you know what? That's demons. That's what they're doing. So I mean, you could say it's aliens coming from somewhere else that are cutting up the animals and taking it, and I'm not ruling that out, but I mean, I just don't understand it. I don't, maybe it isn't something from somewhere else. Maybe it's something from right here.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't know what it is, and we don't understand it, and it evades us all the time. So I don't know.
And it evades our actual space. It could be right. It could be touching us. It could be in another dimension. It's just
Right.
bizarre.
Right.
So they could be right next to us. No matter how close they get, we wouldn't even know it.
I agree.
Isn't that wild? So, but I wonder how they would be able to see one side while be on another. That's got to be something. That's got to be some powerful technology. Like,
Yeah, yeah, just some kind of technology we don't understand, and
Yeah.
we probably will never understand.
Jennifer, thank you for the £5, my friend. I'm using your words, Rich, because I'm listening to the show this morning. £5, £5.
Yeah, it's a
£5.
£5.
But it's a good point. Maybe they do show some respect for humans. They just took three, three humans.
But they're abducting millions without chewing them up or spitting them
Not
out.
killing them though.
Right, I know. Yeah, yeah. So maybe they chilled out. They got what they needed, and that's that.
Or maybe those three, the aliens fucked up a little bit, pardon my French, but they messed up and killed them by accident.
Oh, or
Well,
we couldn't handle the pain.
Yeah, well, one of the theories about the Brazilian man is that he was already dead,
Oh, wow.
and they came across it, and they did what they had to do, and then they left. So, I mean, it's a theory. Nobody really knows, but
It's his own fault for dying. Good stuff, man. I mean, it's interesting. Nobody knows why abductions are happening. Nobody knows if it's
They
us. Nobody knows anything. Oh, I'm sorry. I think somebody's at my door.
I heard that.
Yeah. I'll be right.
The camera shook. So I'm going to move on to one in a moment, Scott, and I'm going to move on to the reptilians here because I think we've put we've put our mark on this one, and to say yes, this is definitely a thing. You know, this is that we can't prove. Saying that, I don't think we're going to be able to prove anything with reptilians. To be honest with you,
right.
I've never seen one.
But it's like, I mean, there's still people out there when you talk about the cattle mutilation and they go, oh, here they go with the cattle mutilations again, that bullshit. What they don't understand is that stuff is happening every year in different parts of the world, and it continues to happen. And I think that it's kind of a fear that people fear it. That's why we don't really pay a lot of attention to it. I'm surprised that people like Linda Moulton Howe are not still pursuing it, but I think she finally understood that she's not going to get an answer. And I think she finally just left it behind because it's still going on to this day. People send me the links, to different countries where they find all kinds of weird stuff. So I don't know. It baffles me. It really does.
Thank you, Frapsat, for the $10 super chat, and I've never thought of it that way. But George Lucas, when the Wookiee is like Bigfoot.
That's interesting. I never
It's
knew
like
that.
Harry from the Hendersons.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Well, I don't know if it would be now, but I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I loved
Me
it.
too. Me too.
But yeah, thank you for that, Frapstat. But that's interesting because I wonder how many of George Lucas's aliens, maybe are from legend, and not just from the imagination.
Yeah, I'm
Because
sure.
a few of them in there look like Greys. There is a few in Star Wars that do look like Greys.
Like the bar scene when they come in and all the aliens are in the bar. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt if that stuff didn't influence him.
What if it's an ancient prior Earth civilization that's still lives here on Earth with us? We're their experiment. They're gods. This is Brian. Thank you for the $4.99. We were kind of speaking about that 2 days ago. We mentioned about maybe these things have been here forever, and we're almost invading their space.
Right.
Especially when we were speaking about and I don't know about yourself, Scott. Have you ever seen a shadow figure?
I think I have. I think I spoke a little bit about it the show that I was on with you. I This happened just a few years ago. So middle of the night, it's like 3 in the morning. Something startled me awake, and I sat up in the bed, swung my legs over the side of the bed, began to stand right up out of the bed. It was almost an automatic, like something disturbed me. I stood up. As I began to walk towards the bedroom door, there was this large, dark, like silhouette in front of me, kind of moving away from me. So I began to follow, and it went out into the hallway, and there was the shape of the window was on the wall from the moon shining through. And this shape passed in front of that just for a second and blocked it out, going towards my stepson's bedroom.
Was it like on the wall, or
No, it
was
was
it?
like
Is
it
it?
was in front of me, like something solid and moving, and the hair stood up on my neck, and I thought the first thing I thought was that the branches on the tree outside maybe had moved in front of the moon and
Mhm.
blocked out the shape of the window on the wall. But when I looked out, there was the moon, crystal clear, no branches anywhere near it. Um, so then I thought maybe it's my one of my kids is out of bed and they're going to the bathroom and they come in and they disturb me. I don't know. I open my stepson's door, sound asleep. I go back to my daughter's room, sound asleep. So now I kind of panicked a little bit. I'm like, is somebody in the house? So I went downstairs, turned on all the lights, went outside, turned on porch lights. I'm looking all around. There's nothing around. I don't know what it was, but it seemed to have disturbed me out of my sleep. And I woke up and it like almost like it was trying to get away from me as I got up. And I don't know. Bizarre. It was really bizarre. Kind of scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen one before, Rick, and I think Rich has seen one before. We spoke about this many. In fact, we'll go with them for now before we move on to the reptilians. But yeah, Brian, I totally agree that it could. When we have spoke about this many times on the show, that it could be something that's been here forever. And we're almost invading its space. David mentioned on Wednesday's show that maybe we are literally invading whatever, and they are scared of us more than we are of them, but they tend to be in our space. Whether they're going in and out of our dimension, I have no idea, but it would kind of make sense that you're not, if in my small peapod brain, it makes sense anyway that you wouldn't see an actual figure if it's just something glitching in and out of our dimension. But I've seen them myself. I have seen these shadow figures quite recently.
Oh, shadow figures? Yeah.
You've seen them as well, Rich.
Yeah, yeah. I have.
I think we spoke about it on a
I
show. On
I
a
had
show.
yeah, maybe. I've talked about it just twice that I know of. I can't remember everything, but it was unbelievable what I saw. The thing came into my bedroom, and it was just after 3 o'clock. And I
Wait,
know
hold the thought. Hold the thought. The thing came into your bedroom. What were you doing?
sleeping,
Okay,
but I
so
woke
did
up.
you, as it came in?
I woke up and I thought I heard some banging, and it was probably the neighbors upstairs because that's what they did. But I thought it was inside. I thought somebody came through. So I'm sitting here, came through the front door. So I'm sitting here looking through the door of the bedroom into the hallway. And I don't see anything, but I saw a black mask come into the bedroom. And it was real low, like, like just 3 feet. And then it went to the wall, and it panned out, and it went all the way to the top, like it was holding itself back like Spider-Man watching me. And then I watched it come back into shape like this, stream down in a line, and then go into the wall that was adjacent to where it was. Like it was in the corner, and it chose the wall by me, and it went through the wall and probably outside because that's where outside was. And I was out of my mind. I thought that was the craziest thing. I kept rubbing my eyes, blinking, thinking that I'm seeing. So I go, I gotta be seeing something. Nothing changed. There was no atmospheric change. My ears didn't pop. There was no breeze. It didn't get hot or cold. I seen that thing a lot. One time I thought it was my dog, and I said, "Come on, come on," and I go, "What are you doing?" And I look over and nothing was there. Oh man, I tell you, I missed that place.
I bet. I told you, but I already explained on the show about my dad with the dog.
Oh yeah,
stroking
I
it
love
and
that
then,
story.
Yeah, insane. But I've seen it as well. You know, I woke up one night and there was something at the bottom of my bed, just sat there, literally.
Oh, on the end of the bed?
On the end of the bed.
Mm.
I apparently so I can remember this, and I was up straight looking at it, and I remember feeling this really kind of just this thing, whatever it is friendly, very friendly. And my wife was like, "What are you doing? You're freaking me out." Because she'd woke up as well.
Oh,
And
wow.
I went and I said, "There's somebody sat at the edge of the bed." And I said, "But don't worry, it's nice." And then I've spoke about this on the show before. I literally rolled her back over and went to sleep. So whether that was me, I don't sleepwalk or anything like that, but I just remember seeing that. And after I met David and had a few interviews talking about some darker things, I started to have strange things go off in the house. The electrics went funny, all sorts of things. And I was joking back and forth with him about this, and he said you shouldn't. It's because you've opened up that doorway. You know, you're talking about it, you're letting it in. You need to clean your house. And he was telling me all this advice about it, and I woke up one night in the bed, and I could see out into my hallway. The door was open, and on the stairway, which is quite high up, you know, next to the window, there was something just stood at the window, and I swear it was watching me. It was featureless, but it was almost like I was dreaming, because I think what I would have done if that was real is get out of bed and go immediately and see if my kids were all right. I didn't do that. I went back to sleep, which is odd, because I don't care if it was Freddy Krueger in the hallway. I would get out of bed and go see to my kids. But through all of that going on, my oldest boy constantly woke up in the middle of the night screaming and running into our room. So I don't know. It seems to have calmed down. The weird stuff going on in the house has stopped. I might have told you a few of this weird stuff, Rich, that's been going on. And I went through a time where I was extremely stressed and very depressed as well through that time. So it could have been a lot of things, but people see a lot of guests that have been on the show speak about these shadow figures. Now, either we're all just seeing like stuff in the corner of his eye, we're imagining it. Maybe it's something to do with the human brain. Maybe it's real. You know, I could with this one, I couldn't answer. You know, is it just something scientific? Because it seems to happen at odd times as well. I don't know about yourself, Rich or Scott, if something was going on in your life that kind of that triggered this to happen. But it with me, it's been at odd times, very odd times.
You want to talk about it?
Talk about the odd times. Do I want to talk about the odd times?
Yes.
Wait, I just like you know, like life get in the way, a little bit of stress, money worries, all sorts of things going on, and work stress. I was made redundant. all sorts of things going on, and that's when it started to happen.
When you were stressed.
Yeah.
I get it when I'm really tired. I noticed. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Maybe you're imagining it. But
Yeah.
millions of people.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah. It could be something neurological, but I doubt that too. Doesn't make sense. Maybe we're getting prepared for the last part of our life, and they're just showing us things that we'll be doing again, getting us acclimated to the shadow people and the things that can move on their own.
Jennifer, thank you for the £5. That has given me the willies. She woke up with a man in black 4 months ago. I woke up watching me. He was tall and smiling. It's the smiling bit.
She wasn't afraid either.
The smiling bit freaks me out. And how did a shadow figure smile and look? Did you see these teeth?
She said it was a man in black, not a shadow figure.
Oh, a man in black.
Yeah, by a man in black. Maybe not the man in, Men in Black, but somebody wearing black. He was just there watching her. And he was tall, smiling down at her like maybe he was adorning her. Maybe he was a grandfather when he was very young. I don't know, man. There's so many cool stories.
Do you think it's in the brain then, Rich? Do you think it is in the brain?
No, I don't know. I think I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's influenced, though, by outside energy entering into your home. Obviously.
It's been happening to me for years and years.
What did?
Just all kinds of high strangeness. I mean, but back when I was in my 20s, married to my ex-wife, and there was one incident where it was broad daylight. I was with my best friend. We were standing in the kitchen talking. Nobody else at the house. And all of a sudden, somebody rapped on the door 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. But it was on the glass of the window.
Mm.
And it was so hard that I thought if they hit it any harder, they would have shattered the window. So I kind of got angry, instant triggered, like, what the hell are you doing? Went over, opened up the door. There was nobody there. Stepped down the stairs, looked both ways. There was nowhere for anybody to hide. There was nobody there. And my best friend freaked him out so bad he got in his car and he left.
Jesus.
There's just weird stuff like that. Stuff moving around, finding stuff in weird places. I mean, I don't know. It's happens so much that a lot of times I won't even pay attention to it. And then I'll think about it later and go, wait a minute. I didn't leave that there, just weird stuff. I don't know. They say
that's a physical, you heard it, your friend heard it. That's
in
the head.
Loud, just like on the verge of shattering the window. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, holy shit, what are you doing? But they say there's a saying that goes that once you notice the phenomena, it notices you. And there's different versions of that saying. When you stare into the abyss, it stares back at you. There's different versions of it, but it all leads to the fact that you're noticing something and now it's noticing you because you saw it, So I don't know.
Patrick, I'm going to come to that one. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat there. But Jennifer has just said there he was solid and even had a hat. Thank you for the $2, Jennifer. I really do appreciate it. He had a hat. Yeah. You hear about them. You hear about them. I've heard about these hat figures wearing hats. Even in the films, you see these depictions of the vampire, and it's got the hat on. But have you seen the shadow of it going down the stairs? The classic one. But I like this because it brings us on to the next one that I did want to mention tonight, and that's the black-eyed kids. So Patrick, I saw 2 faceless kids hovering outside my window when I was in graduate school. Graduate school, what's that now? Is that like
it's college?
College, okay. I was stressed out. We've just been talking about the stress. has sleep paralysis. You've just been talking about the sleep paralysis, Rich.
I was?
Yeah, you said about about lack of sleep. Thinks it's related. Definitely. I mean, I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was drinking at college. I know I
Well,
was.
sleep paralysis is when you're in your REM sleep, right? And
Yeah.
your body shuts down on purpose so you don't act out your dreams. And sometimes you wake up in the middle of that. It misfires or something, and you wake up but you can't move. Sometimes people even act out their dreams. I would, like when I was swimming, I woke up doing this, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? It's bizarre. Sleep paralysis. I don't know if I've ever had that. Have you?
I can attribute to an incident with sleep paralysis that launched me into this entire field. And so, Rich, you might have seen it. It was in a documentary that I made that was about my early life. So
Okay.
it was 1987. I had fallen asleep on the couch, facing the couch, the back of it, with my back to the room. And I had the classic signs. I woke up. I couldn't move. I could move my eyes, but I couldn't move my body.
Why? Why can you move your eyes and not your body if you're sleep paralysis?
I don't know.
I know,
don't know.
that's so weird. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, and it is weird because you would think you can't move anything,
Yeah.
But I sensed something near me that was very close to my shoulder, and I got this really strong feeling of like just it became, well, let me just say this part. So I snapped out of it. I got out of it. I was like, what the hell was that? I flipped on all the lights. Never felt anything like it before. Couple weeks later, it happens again. And this time when I came out of it, I told my wife, I said, I think this place is haunted. And she said, well, why? So I explained it to her. Short time later down the road, I discovered the name sleep paralysis and the symptoms of it. But I felt like there was something else there. And being an artist, I painted a small painting that was an impression of what I felt. And it was this hooded being, almond-shaped eyes, no face, no nose, no mouth. And I didn't actually see this. It was just like an impression that I had. So it wasn't long after that I went out and accidentally came across a UFO book in the store, bought it, and that was it. I read everything I could get my hands on. I bought every book I could get my hands on. And I sometimes attribute that incident to sparking the whole thing.
Usually is. Yeah.
It was very bizarre. I mean, even the feeling of the fear stayed with me for days afterwards. I kept thinking about it like it was like nothing I had ever felt before from any nightmare or anything in my life. It was so weird.
I bet, mate. And I don't think anybody. I reckon I'd be interested, in fact, to find out how much of the population. I wonder if anybody's ever done a study of how many people have actually seen this, reports of this. How many people get these reports of these shadow figures? What's happening in their life at the time when they see these things?
Are they stressed and
Are they? Is it something to do with stress?
no sleep or take drugs or overeat? Something that's more than the bare minimum, overindulgence, or maybe not enough. Yeah, it could be something in the brain.
What do we think to the black-eyed kids?
Oh, right.
Does anybody know much about? I don't know. I've heard the legends. I've watched a few YouTube documentaries on these kids that come knocking on the door. Whatever you do, don't let them in.
I've seen some, but I don't know much about it.
They come from hollowed earth. is the theory, and that they were playing and found their way out. This is one story of the two girls, I think, that happened in another country. But apparently they come from hollowed earth, inner earth, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure about that, but that has to do with their eyes being black, because they don't have the same type of vision we do, being down in that environment.
There was also the children that were green in the UK. I've forgotten the name of them. They were named after.
Wow!
Have you heard about these green children?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's actually they in the town where they showed up. I think it's like a tourist attraction. You can go there. They showed up and they had green skin, and they said they came from inside the earth.
That must be the story then.
Yeah, a boy and a girl. And I think the boy died, but the girl lived.
She got married. Years. She lost the green as well.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, really?
Yeah. She apparently lost. She had children, everything. Yeah. But they spoke in a different language.
Right.
As well. But this is this legend. You know, the town actually does have a big plaque up of these two. With these two kids, and it's in green.
That's crazy.
And what are they called now? Somebody in the chat will know what they're called.
Yeah,
I've forgotten the green kids. Keep an eye on it, Rich, because it might pop up, and I might not notice it. But yeah, these two kids were green, and I think they would only eat. I could be wrong here, but I think they would only eat like certain types of food.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, right.
As well, like they tried to feed them like meat and things like that, but they wouldn't eat it. Very, very odd. Very, very odd indeed. But that's the only. This what? Sorry.
It's called the Green Children of Woolpit.
That's the one. That's the one. Woolpit.
In Suffolk.
My microphone wire is just under my chair. There we go. Done. Yeah. Is there any other cases that we've heard of green children?
Not that I've heard of.
Other than this one.
Yeah.
That's all.
Interesting. I think this legend has a lot of factual stories behind it, because it's the one that survived and went on to get married that passed the legend down, apparently.
Right.
That she used to be green, and she had a green brother. And they spoke in a different language. Did she forget the language, though? That's the thing. Did she? Because where's this language now?
Well, maybe it was just like their kid language, that they created themselves. You know how kids do that?
And maybe they just rolled in some green dye.
It could have been like they slept on mold or something. Slept on a moldy bed.
On some moss.
Moss, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Speaking of things that are green, where do you both lie with reptilians and the conspiracy of those?
I never paid too much attention to it. Huh?
You've never met one?
No, I never even dreamed of one. That has never been part of something I was ever interested in. I always thought it was like a David Icke joke, because he was one of the first people I heard them from. Even though it was in books and stuff, but to actually hear somebody talk about people in power being reptilians.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
People say that my queen's a reptilian. They do. Thank you, Jennifer, for the $5 there. I totally agree. You won't until you actually get it into it, until you actually witness it yourself. That's when you. That's when you know. I knew there was something at the bottom of my bed, but yeah. The people in power, I can kind of understand.
This echo is unreal.
Oh yeah. Scott, just mute yourself.
It's Scott. I forgot.
It's Scott. Scott, I'm gonna send you some headphones.
Yeah, I've got 2 other pair too.
Actually, I don't have any other headphones.
Me neither.
Why do we lie?
No, I do, but you wouldn't want them. They're old, man. They got ear juice on them.
I'll have some GUFON ear. I bet there's people that would pay some good money for some GUFON ear juice.
Well, then I'll just give them underwear
Oh,
for a nice price.
get a lot of money for that, mate. If
Hey.
you go on the right websites. I do think when it comes to the subject of reptilians, when you look at some of the statues, the Egyptian stuff, when they've got the those weird looking, is it the Egyptian ones where I don't know if they are Egyptian actually, where there's some in museums and you can see that there's like a lizard with breasts breastfeeding.
The Sumerians.
That's
Right.
the ones. They're interesting.
Mhm.
One, I've never seen a lizard with breasts, and two, the fact that people was depicting people as lizards, or either that way it was just the artist that was trying to make humans just couldn't. He was a shit artist.
If you go back and you research ancient cultures, not so much the fact that I'm not buying into the, like you guys said, that this person's really a reptilian and all this crazy stuff. But if you go back and you search ancient cultures, there are literally cultures around the world that worship some type of serpentine god or some type of reptilian god, built temples to them. And then if you go back to things like the Bible, what was the only animal that spoke in the Bible? Was the serpent. I mean, there's so many different tie-ins throughout ancient history with some kind of reptilian thing. And then you've got the part of our brain that's called the reptilian complex, I think. They say it's left over from evolution, and it's part of us. I think it's called the reptilian complex, and it's what makes us kind of aggression, things like that. There's a lot of weird ties. If you look at our skin, where it's magnified, like with an electron microscope, and it looks like the back of an alligator.
It sure does.
Really?
There's just so many different tie-ins to something reptilian being associated with us. It's there. You could fill volumes of books with that information.
See, I thought you two were just going to laugh off the reptilian bit. Lee, thank you for the $1.99 there. What does Lee mean by that, Rich? Rich, channel the what?
The Lemurians, the other night, or last week, I did a show. The Lemurians are apparent alien beings that you could channel.
Oh, is that like that guy that goes like...
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know what... I can't...
Yeah.
Was,
And then they grab a...
sounds like what my wife's language, Spanish.
It's really weird, man. It is weird, and there's no specific language. It's just whatever they feel like they could say, right? It's like everybody's got their own style. That's how I know it's bull.
Yeah, well, there we go. At least we got one that we know is bull.
The Lemurians. That's what Lee is saying. It's time to channel.
But the reptilians it goes back. It's one of the oldest actual ones that actually shows possible evidence of these beings being around, especially the one that's breastfeeding. I've never seen it. Like I said, I've never seen a lizard do that. But is that just that people worshipped? It was like almost like they just had this feeling that they came from lizards or something. I don't know, but again, and they wanted to depict themselves as lizards because they found this creature powerful. I mean, look at the Egyptians with the cats.
Hmm.
Could it be something completely different other than there were actual lizard people? You've seen some of the pottery with the dinosaurs on. And I know there's a lot of them are fake, but there's some of them that do look like they have real dinosaurs on that have actually been dated to be thousands of years old. We'll talk about the spoon soon, Rich. I know you don't.
Somebody in the said
As somebody asked you to spoon.
Uber,
I mean, if you really think about it, you know, some researchers over the years have stepped back and looked at grays as being reptilian or amphibian because of their eyes. They're saying it's like an advanced reptilian creature, the smooth skin that's kind of like a shark. You know, and some people say that those are the reptilians, that they're descended from some race that went underground thousands of years ago and it has been here forever. You know, I mean, that's another theory. So
see, how could there be a mistake? The reptilians wouldn't say, "No, we're the reptilians." No, we're the reptilians. Wouldn't they just look like one specific creature? You think, or many different kind? How?
yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
you know, you've got multiple different dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, man's been what? He went from the caves to the moon in what, 1,000,000 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Whereas
crazy.
the dinosaurs were here for what, 250 million years? So if something became advanced during that time and then either hid itself or left the planet, we wouldn't know it. I mean, we would never know.
Or
Bones alone, everything would be decomposed. It would be really hard. I mean, look at the what is the largest ape there, the Gigantopithecus,
10 feet.
and they don't even have a whole skeleton for one of those, but they know that it existed. But we only have bits and pieces of bones.
They don't have a whole skeleton of
No,
any dinosaur.
they've never found a whole skeleton. It's just pieces, like, you know, they can tell the size of it from its tibia and whatever you want to call it, whatever the bones they have.
Yeah, they just mixed and matched.
Yeah.
That's interesting, that though, Scott. That because I've often wondered about that, especially when we talk about evolution and the evolution of man and how we became about the missing link. I always thought there was something. There is. I know what people speak about what the missing link is, but when it comes to the dinosaurs and then being there for that long, some of these dinosaurs, we can kind of guess how they hunted when it comes to things like the Velociraptor, the T-Rex, this, that, and the other. And I don't know how they work out how intelligent a dinosaur was, because just because of the size of its brain, does that mean to say that just because it had a small brain, how advanced was that small brain? You know,
There's a researcher, and I can't remember his name. What that they gave him something to give an example of. They wanted him to say, okay, so dinosaurs became advanced bipedal creatures that were walking on 2 feet. Build us a model of this. And there's pictures of it
Seen
online.
it.
Yeah, he built the full size, and it looks just like, kind of like a gray. It's got the big eyes, scaly skin, kind of looks like Creature from the Black Lagoon. The Slee Stacks, Rich, from remember the Slee Stacks from the Saturday morning show with Holly and her father, and they went through the time warp and ended up in the dinosaur land of the Lost.
Oh, Land of the Lost. Yeah.
And they had the Slee Stacks who looked just like that.
Oh, that's
thing.
right. Yeah.
You know, so that was like a thought problem that they gave this guy, and he built this model of what he thought this intelligent creature would look like. So that was kind of interesting that they had the big eyes and they lived in the dark, and you know.
Why would it not be around though? You know, why if the legends are there and that these things are in society, they're hiding themselves. What would the reason be behind that? Because if that was there before us and was already intelligent, and then early man was around, and the Neanderthals, early man, whatever, all these different types of humans that were on the planet. Where was this during that time? Did it bugger off into space and then came back? Or is it been here? Or did it go underground?
There's a book by a man named Ivan Sanderson. I believe he was an anthropologist. And the book is called Hidden Residence, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, he talks about all of the cases that point towards something living under the oceans of this planet. And it's been there ever since, probably long before us. And we're kind of just this scourge that lives on the surface.
This is what I talked about last night. I said that's what's going on. They've been here forever. They're the original. They have the UFOs, I think, and all that stuff.
I do lean towards that too.
Yeah, right? They just maybe live in the earth. They could have carved out so much. They could have done so much before we came around.
Yeah.
They could be our creators, as I saw. I think Brian said it earlier when he donated $10. Somebody said that. Remember you read it, Ollie? And maybe we think they're the gods. They could be the gods that have gone through our history.
I'm just trying to find it now. StreamYard is horrible.
You won't be able to find it because it was a long time ago. Yeah, they only give you 10 minutes. And it's a 10-minute window. And that was like 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, guys, if I ever miss any of the super chats, I do apologize. But you know as well as I do, Rich, that StreamYard sometimes is delayed and behind, and it's a bit weird.
I open up the monetization on YouTube and just look at them as they come in.
I need to get a double monitor. I've got another computer here.
Oh,
but
I thought you had it.
No, it's a totally different computer.
I got it. All right.
But yeah, when we're talking about them going into underground and then slowly coming back into, why would they leave it that long for us? That there doesn't sit well with me. Why would we, if we had to go underground, into hiding, and we thought, you know what, those cockroaches up there are starting to become a little bit more advanced day by day. At some point, we're going to have to go back up there and face those cockroaches. I don't see that as humans that we would let something become, if we're here, if it's on our ground, but that's as humans. Why would we? Unless there was an ancient creatures here. I mean, look at us and look at a lizard. I know you said we've got scales. If you look put us under a magnifying glass, microscope, but we are completely different, almost like the aliens. What if we are the aliens? What if the thing that wiped the dinosaurs out was actually us wiping them out?
Yeah.
To make space for us.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Could be.
And that's why they went into hiding. Maybe we're the bad guys, the reptilians are the good ones.
I mean, some researchers believe that because over the years and throughout the literature that so-called aliens have given us warnings about what we're doing to the planet, playing with nuclear power, that they're giving us a warning because they know that if we go that far, we're going to destroy their environment as well because they're right here. So some people have kind of, said that maybe that's a possibility. They're saying, look, you got to stop doing this. But, it's just a theory like all the other ones, but definitely something going on out there.
When you see the clips on TV and you see the eyelids and things like that, I think a lot of that is just image artifacts pretty much all of it. I've never seen any. I've seen one or two that I've thought, "Holy shit, that's pretty good." But then I've wondered
I would agree.
if it's
Yeah,
being faked.
I would agree 100%.
What image artifacts?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever seen anything, Rich, that you thought that's nothing more than just a TV? I think you were saying I think it was last night's show, because I was listening this morning, where you was talking about TVs and old TVs. If you try and make somebody out on an old TV, you couldn't even make them out. If you look back at something from the 80s and 90s, see, I told you I watch your show. But that what we're seeing now with a lot of digital stuff is, especially it's something that moves fast, like eyes. It messes up. I mean, I guarantee if I do that,
It looks normal.
I bet if we put us, we do.
Looks normal. Oh, perfect. Here
you go, Rich.
Hey, what am I doing?
I want to see if you're a reptilian.
How?
Because there'll be somebody that'll watch this show that might go, they are reptilians. No, Scott, we got a reptilian in there.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
His hat moved.
He's thinking right now.
His hat moved up though.
Why can't I get us all back on the show? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. No, but you know what I'm saying. Especially if it's a live broadcast, you get these. If it's quick movements like eyes, you get these weird anomalies going on, and that's what a lot of that is. But sometimes you see people say, "Oh, well, look at the fingers. Look the joined. This person's got joined fingers."
Right.
It's that for me is just, it's a little bit silly. It's people just not knowing the technology,
right?
The limits of technology,
right?
I've seen
aliens aren't that abundant. You've seen what?
I've seen one though that I did think I can't remember where it was, but there was one that I saw that was in full HD, and the eye did do something very strange, but I think it was deliberately done
for sure
to get people talking.
How about the weird bald guy that is usually security or for the president?
Yep, I was going to say that as well. Yeah,
I know, that's why I said it. Yeah.
Was that when was it Obama's
Yep.
Bahamas?
Bahamas. Obama's.
Yeah, it was one of his security guys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He looked extremely strange.
He had an angular head almost.
Yeah,
it was really like Jay Leno, but sharp. It was really interesting skull shape. I don't know if it was CGI. Scott, do you know anything about that dude?
It wasn't CGI.
Who was that?
But it could be. I mean, we don't know what people are doing with these photos. The one security for Obama, bald-headed guy, looked like, he didn't belong. He also had looked like a fake arm.
Yeah. I think, from what I heard, somebody had kind of touched it up with CGI.
That's
okay.
Damn it.
I'm not really sure, but you can look at, some of the footage is just so pixelated and just crappy that it kind of looks like something, but it's really not that. It's, some of these guys, they'll find this stuff and they're like, oh my God, that guy's not even human. He's a reptilian, and it's just bad footage. That's all it is.
Yeah. Like the Elvis footage. You ever see that one?
I think so.
Where they say Elvis was like a demon or something. It's just bad pixelating.
Yeah.
And his eye gets all deformed for a second.
I did see that.
That is the dumbest thing on the planet.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there. You just got to be careful. And you and I know that very well.
Yeah. Very well. Just from doing what we do.
Yeah. It's
even before.
Yeah, ever since I got into it, I remember the first time I walked into a room and I saw the guy that mentored me in digital imaging. He had one of the first versions of Photoshop, and I just stood there amazed. I couldn't even believe the things that he was doing. And I was like, this is incredible. I mean, I got brought up on, our high school had a photography department. So we had a dark room.
Yeah, we did
So,
too. Yeah.
yeah, so to superimpose something, you had to take an X-Acto knife, cut it out, glue it onto another photograph, then re-photograph it again, then touch it up. I mean, it took hours. What took hours now takes like 5 minutes. You know,
Isn't that
it's
amazing?
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I agree. Bald people are probably aliens. Ginger Steve, did you see Lee last night? He's a bald man now.
Yeah,
Need you all to take your caps off and reveal the truth.
Oh yeah, we all have base or caps on a fedora.
yeah.
Nope.
I've got
That's
a
good.
full head.
Yeah, you do. Look at you guys got your hair. Good for you. Well, I guess that's the end of the show, right?
Thanks, Ginger Steve.
No caps, people. We're caps people.
So, with it is image artifacts, and so I definitely don't think that people are shape shifting reptilians. As much as fun as it sounds, but I do think there's definitely something to the statues of these creatures, whatever they were. But it may be that people just worship, just like the Egyptians, when they had their, the Horus, whatever it is, and the bird, the crocodile. That's
Right.
That's all it could be. But again, it could be evolved dinosaurs.
I mean, there's,
That's exciting.
there's multiple statues from down in the, like the Mayans and I believe some of the Olmecs, where it has a reptilian head, and then emerging out of the mouth is a human being. And so some researchers have attributed to that to them saying we emerged from these reptilian beings. They somehow had their hands, in our, creation. I mean, there's so many cultures and legends pointing back to that these, especially like you said, Ali, the statues from the Sumerians, they worship those gods, and they were some kind of weird reptilian god. It's just bizarre.
Scott, back to that though. When I said it has breasts and it's
Right.
feeding a
Yeah,
baby.
it's holding the baby.
Is that baby a reptilian?
Good point, but there's not enough detail in it to even tell. It's a figure, but it's, there's a lot of the details worn off of it. But good point. I mean, maybe it's nursing a human baby.
Feeding off the nipple of a lizard.
Right.
My kids did that when they were born as well. But okay, she doesn't watch the show. I find it fascinating, especially when you look at people, and we did speak a little bit about David Icke, that kind of preached it for a long time and then decided he was going to shut up about it and start to become a little bit more political,
Right.
in a mad way. But I do think there's something to it. But again, with this one, I think this one more than the others. So I believe the shadow figures, and I believe the what was the first one we started with, Scott? I totally forgot.
Shadow figures. We had the Black-Eyed Kids.
Yeah, I think they said the Black-Eyed Peas. But the first one, what was the first one? Where's Rich gone? You'll know the first one. It's just shot out of my brain.
That wasn't the Shadow People?
No, we were talking about what did we start off with, Rich?
Shadow people.
No, animal mutilation.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So the animal mutilation, the shadow figures are more down with than the reptilians. But I find that there's more evidence for reptilians than shadow figures, because people can say people have just drawn shadow figures, the cavemen, because they've just drawn a black smudge, but just a black smudge. So that leads me on to everybody's favorite little warrior, and that's that little grey guy that's everywhere.
It's
That
Grey
is
Goose.
one.
Yeah.
That is one. But I'm going to start off here, and it goes back to me. It goes back to looking at Aleister Crowley and his picture, my favorite picture. Some may say I worship Aleister. I don't.
You do.
I don't.
Yeah, wasn't this one that he drew himself? Right.
Yep.
Mr. Crowley.
I think that it could very possibly be that the Greys are some kind of reptilian creature, amphibian. Then you've got people that are saying that it's some kind of biological robot, or it's some kind of AI soldier, or assistant that's AI. If you look at it, and the reason I say this is because it was back a few years ago, 15 years ago, and I happened to be scrolling through Google. I can't remember what I was looking for, and I scrolled real fast past a set of photos, and I thought, oh, that's an alien. And I scrolled back, and it was a close-up of a snake.
Oh, wow.
The way they had the head tilted forward with the eyes, it looked just like a gray. And I said, I never really looked at it like that before, but I guess they could possibly be reptilian beings. I don't know.
That'd be weird.
This one just popped up.
Is there Stan Romanek around?
I have not seen that one before, Rich. What is that one? That's
You have
brilliant.
seen it.
Have
It's
I?
usually invisible because it's green when
so
I
you got
used to have the green
now.
screen.
Yeah, I thought you were going to have arms and everything. I'm disappointed.
No,
now.
it's just a bust.
Yeah, it's a bust. The grey's interesting because everybody draws it, but the problem with the grey for me now is that it's everywhere. It's in every movie. It's in all the TV shows. It's absolutely everywhere. So I don't really know. The only place that I can see where it legitimately started from was Aleister Crowley.
But in Barney Hill. Right?
But but Aleister Crowley drew that a long time before Betty and Barney
Do
Hill.
you know why he has his hands like this? Do you know why?
It was super glued to his face.
No. Because he's squishing his cheeks in to look like the aliens.
Oh, I thought he was doing this. That Ross does out of Friends.
Oh, maybe he is. I don't know. I didn't talk to him when he had that done.
Apparently, then the people called him the Beast.
He is the Beast.
666.
Yeah.
The number of
So
the
listen, Ollie, I hate to cut it short, but I got to get ready for Erica's show.
Oh, right.
No worries, mate. No worries. Oh, tell Erica if she's about. I would love to have her on Monday's show because
Yeah.
I've got it's a ladies' night. I've got Richie. Welcome to Squad FLS. I've got loads of women coming on. I've got it's a ladies' show.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
All right.
She's welcome to come on. I wanted the ladies of ufology on a show.
We need more women researchers. There's not enough.
Totally agree.
You know.
I might get Mrs. Addict down. No,
All right, I got to let you guys go.
Okay,
Scott,
mate.
good to see you, man. Have a good time.
Yeah, you guys too. Thanks for talking. I enjoyed
Give
it.
Erica my love.
I will. Thanks, Ollie.
See you guys.
Thank you, Jennifer. Rich, help me out here. My eyes.
Jennifer Siami with the
dyslexic.
5-pounder. 2 years ago, I say a very large, tall gray run past me in my back garden. It did not look at me. It just hurried past me. It was dusk at the time. So 2 years ago, she had a very large, tall gray run past her in the back garden. It didn't even look at her. It just darted right past her. Right as the sun went down.
What was it running from?
It was just scurrying past her, so it probably couldn't be seen. They move really quick. They're slick. They take 3 steps, and it's 40 yards, basic, because they have that crooked leg. It goes backwards and then forwards. You know the one.
Yeah. So I want to skip over the Greys.
Oh,
because I
Nicole
think
Sackett right here. Maybe you can get her on the show.
definitely, 100%.
You know who
Where is
she is, right?
Yes, I do.
She said,
Ladies'
"Ladies'
night.
night up in here."
Nicole,
Nikki
message me on
Sackett.
Twitter. Very welcome to come on the show. Send
When
me
is
the
that?
links as well.
Monday is that?
It's Monday,
Why
ladies' night.
Monday? What do you? Are you off for the week?
No, it's the only time all the girls could come together.
Oh,
I've arranged this for like a month when I wanted to get a few of the ladies of ufology on a show. You know, I just think it'll be a fun show.
not if you keep saying ufology. It'll be horrible.
I'm always going to say that, Rich. I can't change it now.
Okay,
I think
I'm
it's an
glad.
alien edit thing.
No, I understand completely, and I would do it too.
What,
You bastard.
just to annoy you.
I know, I love it, and I'll never
So
bring it up again.
you've heard about the black? Have you heard about the black goo?
Yeah, of course.
So people speak about this a lot. They see this black stuff that oozes out of places like, and it's if you look at it in films, it's everywhere.
What do you mean?
So there's a new show, and it's on. You have to have Apple TV. It's a very good show actually, and it's called Invasion. I don't know if you've heard it. I think I showed you the trailer for it.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's
Oh
a
yeah.
big
Yeah.
it's a big build up to an alien invasion, but it's so slowly, and you see like things slowly start to happen.
Oh
A
wow.
bit like what's going on in the world. It's very, very strange. But these aliens they're very, very weird. They're like this black goo. But then you look at Venom. Venom's like a black goo. You look at Prometheus. They have the black goo. You look at what is it? The new June. There's the black goo in that. They keep showing this black goo everywhere. But but also going back to the what's the right way to say it, Rich? UFO logist.
I can't help you. You're gonna have to learn yourself.
Ufologist.
Nope. Oh yeah. It's ufologist.
When he passed away, they found black stuff coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. What's the only person that's ever happened? So that sounds like cyanide. Somebody poisoned him. Isn't that what happens with cyanide when you take it?
That's even more scary that somebody poisoned him.
Well, they think his
That
girlfriend did it.
if you get wow, but he was out in the field. I don't even think he was in this country.
He wasn't. He was in
Wait,
another country, yeah.
Was he in Poland?
Yeah, no, it's funny enough to be in Poland. I don't know. I don't remember the country. All I know is when the FBI or CIA raided that place or came there, I don't know how it happened anymore. But he had everything so neatly organized, alphabetized, and, timetables and all this stuff where he was living. He was about to break a very big thing.
And you still think his girlfriend killed him?
No, that's a rumor going around that she was in on it. She wasn't. She was his girlfriend, but not really his girlfriend. She made believe she was, like a Total Recall type of thing, If you remember the movie.
Tongue turned black. Yeah, I do remember the movie. Oh! With the
Tongue
thing coming
turned
out of his yeah, I think his tongue had turned black.
Oh, the thing when
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That was great. 2 weeks.
Man, you make me wish I had free hands. I do think with that case, and I don't know enough about it to even comment, and it's very tragic. But I think the guy was. I think that is a genuine one that was taken out.
And
They
do
got
you
rid of him.
think really that Phil Schneider was taken out?
No.
Really, you don't, huh? A lot of strange stuff around him.
There is, but also his wife said that he was nuts.
He was on medication for
Okay,
it.
okay. I remember watching him up on stage a long, long time ago on a documentary, and I
Yeah.
watched the full thing. And the story to me looked a little bit too far fetched, and even how he was telling it didn't.
Seemed like he was remembering a script.
Yeah,
That's what I thought too. But then you look at the
but
circumstances.
people get emotional when you say that he's a liar because he died for our country.
Yeah. So funny. I love it.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, if at some point a liar's going to die,
True.
you know, at some point somebody who's pulled the wool over your eyes, you know. Let's face it. Billy Myers, he's got one arm as well. Why have they always got one arm?
Why?
Billy Myers got one arm as well.
Yeah.
Who
else has one arm?
Phil. Well, no, finger's missing. Whatever, finger missing.
Oh
Phil.
yeah, he had like 2 fingers missing and
Yeah,
the scar down
he
there.
had a quarter of an arm. Yeah, he had a bit of arm. He had more of an arm than Billy. But
Dude, he was only missing fingers.
that's what I
That's
said,
it.
fingers. But
Yeah.
but at some point, Billy's gonna pass away. You know,
any day.
He's getting on a little bit. Does that mean to say when he passes away, people are gonna go, you can't call him a liar, you can't call him a hoaxer because he's dead. That's speaking ill of the dead.
Who cares?
But he's a liar.
He's a
He's
piece of shit. That
no,
stuff is
no, I disagree. I think the guy's a genius.
There's a documentary I can't remember the name of it, but they did such a good work on debunking him. It's unreal. The guy used 2 different cameras and a certain technique. I don't remember
I've
the
seen
name of it. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
And they showed the actual proper bin,
Yeah.
the real bins. Thank you.
You saw
Welcome
it.
to the show. Let me guess, is it an avocado?
That's $1. That's £1 right there, baby.
It's unicorn. I'm getting
Oh.
confused. It's always the unicorn with Lee.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Billy Meyer is a liar.
Yeah. The worst.
100%. He is a hoaxer, and his mate that you had on that didn't come on then fell out with you. I think, what's he called?
Yeah, Michael Horn.
Michael Horn. Yeah, he's obviously he's got a lot to lose if on a show that he was basically called out and said you're promoting a liar. But the evidence there to say that the guy faked everything is there. But there will be still people in the field, Rich, that will, on their deathbed, say that Billy Meyer is the legend. You know, he's the one that speaks to the aliens. He may have faked one, but he faked it for a reason.
You fake one, you're done. It only
They're all
takes
fake.
one.
All fake.
The guy's a fake. It looks fake as hell, doesn't it? All those UFOs, they're going like this. You know, why do they spin it? Why don't they just go up? They never go straight up, do they? No, I never seen one.
Rich, you know something? They all look fake to me, or provable. Pretty much most of them, all of them, apart from some of them.
Or provable?
Yeah, I there's no proof.
Oh yeah.
There's no proof to what they are. I mean, even with the little bits of snippets of footage that we have that TTSA released, you know, it's, you can't make anything out. All you've got is what the pilot said. All you've got is the reactions. You've got you've got the speeds, but I'm taking their word for it. I'm not an expert on how to look at a video and say, yes, that's going exactly that speed that
Right.
they're telling me that it's going at. You know, I can see You can see the radar, but and what have you. But how do we know that something's not being pushed here?
What do you mean?
That something is being pushed to
Like
us.
a narrative?
Yes. It almost feels that way. It
Wait,
really
hold
does.
on. I'm confused. You're talking about Billy Meyer, and then you say, I'm wondering if they're pushing a narrative.
I wonder if they're pushing everything. I'm wondering.
No, they're not. You see, you're falling for it too. Just because we've had a lot of mainstream media the last year or two doesn't mean we're getting any new information. We've got nothing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But it feels like they are pushing something. People say that people will come into our community that are potentially dangerous for the community, that will drop things on purpose and do things on purpose. For all I know, there might be a couple of them in the chat. There may be people in your chat that are doing stuff. There may be people that I've even had Patreons show up for like a couple of days and then disappear. Like,
yeah, they want to see what videos are in there,
which is weird, and it's happened every now and again. And the strange names, and when I tried to trace who it was, just even say, because I've tried to thank them, no response. Tried to have a conversation straight away. You'll get a notification when you get a new patron. You get a notification.
Yeah.
So you try and have a conversation. Say, "Oh, thank you so much for your support." Blah blah blah. They normally reply straight away.
Usually, yeah.
But I had one last year. I can't remember the name of the guy. Came on for like a day. Came in. Maybe he got the wrong Patreon, but it just felt odd. And I had a couple that have come in for like a week, and it seems like they're looking at what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's weird. It could be other channels spying. I know. I think Nocturnal News did a bit of that. He even admitted on his channel that he did it for Tyler. That he went.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Yeah, but I think there are people that are working for the higher powers that are in our community, fiddling.
Of course.
But there's a reason for that.
If you think about ufology, it's always been about disinformation, lies, misinformation. It's never about the truth. Because anytime somebody brings something forward that's supposed to be truthful, what happens? We find out it's not so truthful after all. Tell me something in the last, let's just so your memory's fresh. What was real this year? Anything new that you could think of? Me neither. Last year, what? The Admiral Wilson files? Nobody knows what those are. I mean, we know what they tell us, but what? Any new UFO videos that you could say, oh, that's clearly a UFO? No. What? The duck? The UAP duck?
I love that thing.
I don't know what it is, but it's weird. It's a weird one. But it's FLIR. It's grainy.
It's always FLIR.
Yep. Because they're giving us something, and I know what you're saying. What's the reason to give us these things if we're not even going to be seeing what they really are? It's like they're just creating this drama. They're creating this angst, and they want people to feel like there's a threat out there so they can get funding for whatever the frigonometry they want to do. Who knows? Maybe just to take care of their families, Ollie. I don't know. But I don't see any evidence or any reason to have this office at the DOD and the Pentagon, a permanent office. Now, yeah, that gives us the ability to go to other countries under the government, and it's all paid for, with the funding they're going to get. So we could actually interact with the government, other governments over there as a government, and then everything gets filed away. And that's what this is all about. It's all about getting their information on secret technology that we don't have. That's what Lou's there for. Lou's there to do the Jedi mind trick on everybody.
It really does seem like it's a US thing, though. I mean,
it is.
I'm talking about UFOs in general and the big hype behind it. It all seems very. It seems like it's all you guys, because we don't talk about it over here.
No, you're right. And that's what this is all about. Us getting your guys' information through the government, through the proper channels. So it's all legit. And we're doing it under the guise of a threat. So
Jennifer, thank you for the £5. This is what me and Rich are trying to do. We want to get, we want a platform for the true experiences. I want the true. My email, Jennifer. Thank you so much, my love. I really appreciate that. My email, guys, for anybody that is a true experiencer, send me an email if you want to come on the show and tell your story. And I'm sure Rich wants the people.
yeah.
Maybe one day I'll open the airways up, Rich, like you do every now and again. But I'm so scared of a naked person coming on the show.
That's why you have them backstage first.
Oh yes, yeah. But what if they just quickly whip the clothes off? You know, they might have.
Well, then you got to end the show real quick and delete it.
How
Nothing you can do about it.
risks you take?
It's never happened. You'll get that person in trouble because that's perfect. They'll be banned from YouTube for that. You won't.
Okay, so YouTube would forgive you for ugly naked guy.
I mean, if they do that, that's not your fault. I mean, I'm surprised we don't see it happening more often. But who wants to get naked in front of?
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does happen.
Right, but who wants to get naked in front of everybody on the internet? You'll be naked forever. It'll go viral.
It'll go viral.
You can always put the digital thing over it.
It depends how much of a. I'm not
Yeah. It's the whole microphone.
So what's your show on tonight? Is there a show tonight?
Of course, 6 nights a week, all but Sundays.
Jesus
Tonight?
Christ.
Why?
You are
Why?
one busy man, my friend.
Nah, I'm not working. You know, the hardest part is making the thumbnail. What am I doing tonight, Ollie? I'm pulling it up. The most realistic alien sci-fi movie plots ever. Like,
Okay, well, you need to watch Invasion.
well, I said it's not a movie though.
It's not a movie. You're right.
But did you see my thumbnail? I think you would appreciate that.
Bring it
Did
up
you
on the
see it?
screen. Bring it up on the screen.
Oh yeah.
Just send it.
I'll just pull it up. Here we go. It's not going to be big. That's what she said. Shut up. Hold on. Let me put it in.
That's what
There
he
you
said.
go. Hey, come on now.
You started it.
There it is.
Oh my god, I love it. I don't love the echo though.
Oh, let's try something. Let's see if it works.
It works, Rich.
Well,
You
let
just
me
don't-
try it
just-
though. I want to see it work live. Right? So you have to go to Chrome tab. What's your
You do.
rush?
There isn't a rush.
What's your rush? Where you got to go? All right,
Where
here
have
we
I
go.
gotta go?
Actually, the show is Lou Elizondo changing the narrative? Because he's talking differently now. That's the other part of the show. All right, is there an echo?
Is there an echo?
No.
No.
So it works.
It works.
Anyway, that's what's
did
going
you
on.
just tick the echo?
No, I instead of clicking the full screen when you put the audio up, I click the tab at the top.
And it
You know
works.
how when you so
Yeah,
that's the way you get rid of the echo. We practiced it. We figured it out how to get rid of the echo, everybody. And I like StreamYard. I was using OBS the last couple of nights.
Speaking of the BS of OBS, is there a lot? How much of the when you get people on the show and obviously don't name names, but what percentage of people telling you their story do you believe?
What do you mean? When I meet people?
Yeah. Yeah, when you meet people and they start saying, I saw an alien, or I saw a UFO, or my grandma, I see my dead grandma all the time, or when they're just telling any story.
So you're
Well,
telling me if I get an email from I just want to make sure we're on the
no,
same
not an
page.
email. No, I'm talking when you speak to them in person.
In person on the show?
Yeah, on the show, or even maybe not on the show. Maybe
What
just somebody,
percentage? Well,
yeah, where would you say it lies? Are you 50-50? You're like 25% there.
I don't really put that to the test because there are some people like Streetlight Mike who talks about seeing something and the video evidence is ridiculously made up. And then, it depends on who's telling the story. But a percentage of people that I would have to say, I believe these people, about 75% believe they had an experience, maybe even 90%. I think they believe they had an experience, but they don't have the experience to know whether if it's really happening or just something else mundane. So I believe it's a high number. I just never thought about it too much, to be honest with you.
So after all the years that you spent doing it, boots on the ground, out there, trying to film these UFOs in the day, you saw the fleet.
Mm-hmm.
You said, you sent that to me, and I said that's probably one of the best pieces of footage I've seen.
Yeah, it's really phenomenal.
But when you look back at some of that now, you said that you don't know.
I don't. I always said I don't know. I said I don't know if they're balloons, but the first fleet I captured did something phenomenal that I've never ever thought I'd expect, and it made designs in the sky based on a conversation that I had the night before. Like I told my wife, I go, I wish that they would show me a fleet. And just a quick example, and I wish they would show me wish they would be more than one, because all I was seeing is one here, one there. Never like in Mexico, they had the fleet. So I was real excited. I'm telling my wife, why don't I get the fleet? I mean, then the next day I go outside and I look up and I see flashing lights, get the thing, whatever, the camera, and I zoom in, and there's a genie's lamp that they formed with balloons. All right, you want to say balloons did this? It looks just like a genie's lamp. That's me wishing that they would form the constellation of Orion and the Little Dipper. And then I said, why not? Why this? Why that? And the last thing they did with 11 of the white orbs, they made a question mark. And eventually I'll put the video up. It's coming up. I just got it's in the other room. I got the video card. So now I'm going to be putting my videos up finally.
Yeah, when we first met, we were videoing. You're like picking up these bags of tapes that you've got.
Yeah. Yeah, here's one bag right here. I mean, this is full. This is about 75 tapes. I've got 500.
And that's all of sky footage.
Yeah.
Some of it is some of it just nothing. It's like
it's some of it's me driving, looking at the sky, or driving and, but I'm talking 99% of that stuff is all just sky watching.
Wowzers.
And I bought tapes.
That's a lot of time.
Huh?
That's a lot of time.
That right there is 4 years worth of going out 10 to 14 hours a day, every single day. I missed one day because I was sick. And it was February 12th, I think it was.
How long did you go out for?
I had my own schedule. My wife made sick money, so she says, just do whatever you want. We're fine. And, I had a job where I made my own schedule, doing loans. So I made a killing. I was doing it for, those 5 years. But I would go out. I'd wake up when I'd leave. Okay, what I would do, I would go out at 3:30 in the morning till the sun came up. And then I'd go back to bed, get up, eat, go out at 9, and then go from 9 to 1 or 2. And then I'd take a break, eat, do some work, go back out, just around sunset and go all the way till 1, 2 in the morning. And it was the same thing constantly.
Wow. That's dedication, mate. I think a lot of the people that say they do stuff like that, I don't think they do.
Oh my God.
And every so often they'll give you a 5-second piece of mobile footage.
I know. And I've got over 200 notebooks full with my notes that I took. 200 notebooks.
Also, people, you can't film UFOs. Well, you can, but you really can't with a mobile phone. I think it's the worst thing to try and. Me and the wife. I don't know if I told you this, Rich, but we were out there, and we saw one.
Oh wow!
I don't know what it was. This was a few months ago.
Oh okay.
We were both outside. We used to smoke when we was younger. We don't smoke anymore. But every so often, when the kids are asleep, we may have a glass of wine, and once every couple of months, I might buy a little cheeky packet of cigarettes, and we'll go out for one cigarette. And we sat there, and this thing was up in the sky, and I went, "Look, UFO." Jokingly, I just thought, I thought it's just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, clearest night. Clear. It was clear. Such a nice, clear blue, dark blue sky night, and then this thing literally went like that and went gone. And she went, "Oh wow, it's gone." And I went, "See, I probably should have filmed that," but I said, if I had have done, you'd have seen nothing on this phone.
That sucks.
But you wouldn't have seen anything. You would have just seen probably a dot flicker a little bit and nothing, like nothing to put out. So I think people that sometimes that these things, as good as they are, I don't think they're good for filming dots in the sky.
They're awful. They're the worst. They only have, some of the pixel, now they can get 50 pixels on some megapixels, whatever.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, if you're
Pictures.
looking at the new Samsung, the new iPhone, they've got the good optical zoom on there, but
nothing like a real camera.
Yeah, but trying to stabilize it with a mobile phone and zooming in at 100 times zoom, you're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be impossible. Even if you've got the most steadiest hands, you're going to struggle at something the size of a star or if it's moving fast, not a chance.
Yeah, the optical imaging stabilizers aren't like a regular DSLR camera. Yeah. Which, but by the way... Oh, go ahead.
You getting one? I know.
No, I have it. I'm just going to hook it up for my show for the first time.
So it's going to be used tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
So I don't know if I've shown this on the show. So there's... I actually...
bag of goodies?
It's not a bag of goodies. This here is...
It's a camera bag.
This is for the show.
For what show?
For my show.
Oh, you got a second camera? A Canon. What is that? The iOS?
This is the iOS.
iOS.
I don't know what it is.
Is it?
It's
It says on the front by your thumb there. No?
It's the new mirrorless one. The D something.
Yeah, that's cool.
I got this for my 40th birthday. All the family put together to get it. I've tried to use it for the show.
Right.
I can't for the life of me. I can't work out how to use this.
You know why? You want me to show you? I'll show you when we're done with the show.
Okay.
You have to get a capture card.
I've got one. Yeah, I've got one. I just literally just couldn't work out how to do it.
I thought I brought mine in here, and I guess I did not.
So guys in the chat, there is a lot more planned with Alien Addicts when it comes to doing some of the old editing stuff. I have some great equipment, and this thing, look, it will even moves about. You can get the screen to come.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool camera, but
it's nice.
The lenses for this thing are £1,000 bloody.
What?
Yeah, one of the ones that lenses that I wanted to get for it to zoom in and try and look at
Yeah.
UFOs myself. It was like, well, that's an exaggeration. £800 for the lens that I wanted to get for it.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm sure you can get like ones to fit. But yeah, I've got all sorts of stuff on, all sorts of gadgets in there for that camera. But
Cool.
I've only taken pictures of kids on it, my own kids,
Thank
not
God.
not other people's kids. YouTube, my own kids.
Yeah, sure.
On that note, so you're going live in the next hour, Rich? Is it?
An hour and 49 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna have a little chat with you for 5 after the show if you don't mind. Yeah, well, I know you just want to get straight off, but
No, we'll talk.
cool, mate. So, guys, go check out GUFON in the chat. I think pretty much everybody in the chat is a GUFOnian. A GUFOni.
Pretty much. Goofoni.
You could be either a GUFOnian or a GUFOni. If you're a GUFOni, that means you're a government shill that's in the chat of
Oh,
GUFON.
that's great.
Yeah.
A GUFONEY. Yeah, I love it.
Always give you the good ideas.
That's the best idea of the year.
Good night, God bless people. Mind the bugs don't bite. I want to thank each and every single one of you in the chat for being supportive, the pumping the thumbs up, whatever you're doing tonight. And, all the super chatters, the people that are spreading the love when they spread us out on social media. I want to thank my beautiful moderators for being very beautiful and supporting the show and stopping people from being bullies or whatever you do, being a moderator. Amazing work, guys. I do have a little merch platform which you can go and support the show. Get yourself a t-shirt. There's a few designs there. Those are 3 of the designs. There is a new Bob Lazar. What's the Element 115 design? I seem to have lost. I think I've deleted it. Oh no, I haven't. There we go. There it is.
Nice.
I quite like that way. Simple but effective, Rich.
It's very cool.
So you can go support the show and actually get something out of it, or you can become a Patreon member. It is in the description below. And I want to take this time to thank each and every single one of my Patreons, apart from the one that came in for a day because he wanted to spy on me. Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. I am Alien Addict. Good night.